Hey there, Uncle from Tactical Gamer here. I'm currently working on a mission for an event for Tactical Gamer called Cloak and Diver. And it's going to involve coming in off of the water as a diver insertion into a urban environment here in Kavala. And as you can see, I wanted to create a bunch of randomized patrols in here. So I've done things like create these groups and then given them waypoints, as you can see, that are very randomized. So the placement radius is 60 meters and completion radius of 20, so in case they come into a building I can't quite get to the exact spot it chooses, that it'll still complete and move on to the next one. So I've been able to create these randomized patrols, you know, doing I created one. I usually create one like this where you see these out in the far edge of the map, and then I copy and paste them and put them in and move the waypoints around. But I wanted to make sure in an urban environment I was hitting some very specific points with patrols. So I decided to write my own randomized patrol script where I could control exactly where they're going to go. So over here on the airport, I'm going to show you how it works. I've got, first of all, for test purposes, I created a couple of groups here. So I put down one unit, and in this unit I said patrol 1 equals group this, which means that whatever group he's in, I'm going to name it now patrol 1 so I can call upon the group and give them an order later. I actually created the call for my patrol script on this unit so that I can delete it later and it's not mucking up my mission if I decide not to use it. So it won't be calling on this unless I decide later to throw it in somewhere. Anyway, as you can see, next one is Patrol 2. I've named his group Patrol 2 and Patrol 3. Next thing I did is I wanted to create an array or a bunch of objects that I'm going to use as my waypoints. That way I can place down this small pencil. I called it point 1 or P1. So I've got P1, P2, P3, all the way up to P9. So I've got 9 different points here that I'm going to use, and what I'm going to do is the script is going to take randomize one of these. I'm going to take patrol 1 and move them to a random one of these points, and then 2 and then patrol 3 will move to a random one of these points, and it'll cycle over and over again. So if we look at the script, I'll show you that in a second. Okay, so here is my script I've got up in Notepad++. The first line I just used as a debug line to make sure it was running, so we'd get a message that said this script is running. I want the script to only run on the server because it's going to be choosing random points. I don't want all the different client computers to be choosing different points and trying to send these units to different points. So it's running only on the server. So the whole script is in between this line to this line, only running on the server. Now I've got a bunch of stuff here. We're going to ignore that stuff because I've added that in especially for my mission. So basically I've got a variable called patrol points, and it's got listed all of the P1 to P9. Okay, so there's 9 points there. I've got my 3 patrols listed in another variable. It's called an array, so patrols equals each one of these, and I can select them by using well, we'll see. I set my next point to be P1 just so that there's a default value for it, and the same thing for a delay. So every time it sends an order, it's going to wait a random amount of time to send an order to the next unit. So I just set a default value, and I had another debug line here that I'm going to take out. Okay, so here, from here to here, actually probably better just to do this. This is the next block of the script. Okay, it's going to run, all of this code in the middle is going to run for each patrols, which means for every value I have in here, it's going to execute this script, or this bit, and X is going to be the part that uses which one of these I want. What I mean is, for each patrols, it's going to choose patrol 1, it's going to run this block of code, and X is going to equal patrol 1. And then it's going to run it again for patrol 2, and X is going to equal patrol 2. Now what I'm going to do is I have a variable next point, okay, is going to equal, get me a random number for as many values as I have patrol points. So it's going to count how many patrol points I put in here, and then give me 9 random patrol points. I have to put a -1 in there because when it does when I want to choose which one of these points I'm going to use, it actually numbers them according to the script, like a 0 to 8. So I have to make sure I have 0 in there as one of my values. So then I'm going to say patrol 1 move to get the position of, and then patrol point select next point. Next point is a value of 1 to 8. So if it was value 0, it would go, it's going to get the position of patrol point select 0, which would be P1. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to 8. There. A little bit complicated maybe. And then I put in a debug line here, which I will take out when I publish the mission, but it just tells me where everybody's going to go. That patrol that I'm controlling is moving to position, whichever here is going to give me a number 0 to 8. Okay, time delay is, again, I'm going to choose a random number from 1 to 30. I'm going to add 30 onto it, so there's at least 30-second time delay. And again, I'll increase this right now because you'll see in my test mission, obviously I put those points really close together. So if I want to spread it out over a city, I want to give them a good couple of minutes to get there. But for this purpose, I did there, and then it sleeps for anywhere between 30 to 60 seconds, and then it'll make the next patrol move. At the end of that, and we're ignoring this, it's just going to go down to here, and it's going to execute the script again and start over. So it's going to move every one of these patrols and then just restart the script. Okay. And the only reason this was here is just to make sure that I can get out of it. Once the mission's over and everyone's going to extract, then I'm just basically going to say that the script will no longer run because this won't fire, and it'll just get to the end of the script and stop. And this line is now redundant. Okay, let's take a look in the mission, see how it looks. All right, we're back in the mission editor. I've put myself in as a group member here, playable unit, and I've connected myself to one of these patrols so that I can see his orders. And we just go in and take a look. I'll often do that. I'll have a playable unit down the map that I call test guy, make him invincible, make him so he can teleport, and I just make him not playable and throw him way off on the side of the map when I go to publish the mission. So I can choose that unit. It's already issued an order here to one of the units, but since we're not in the map yet, you won't see it. Turn my grass off. There's our guys. Oh, looks like he has moved. And then we'll just wait for the randomized patrols. Now it could take up to 60 seconds here. There he goes. Patrol 2 is moving to one of the random points. I've got script errors up, so it shows me every time it's calling on a variable up here that's not populated by a player, it's giving me an error. Turn down the chem light. Control 3 should get the next order. I could randomize that as well, but for the purposes of my mission, I don't need to bother with that level of control. There he goes. Control 3 is moving to point 0, which is P1, pencil 1. We could see, should be able to see that he's standing on a pencil here, but seems to be pretty much hidden in the ground. Maybe his foot's on it. And on it goes. Next up will be our move. Because we're grouped in here, we'll actually hear our leader give the order to where we're going to move to. I can do things like get position when I'm building a mission, a small little script I wrote, so that, boom, copy to the clipboard is my exact location, so that I can use that to move any object into a very specific location and height and position on the map.
Move back.
There we go. Now we're moving to P6. It's nice. Those pencils, you can't even see them, so that works out pretty well. I wonder if I could pick it up. Nope. Alright, well there we go. That's the patrol script. And that's the end of this tutorial. Catch you later.